What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. And today we're going to be doing a Jacksonville Jaguars offseason risk rebuild, of course, after they have hired Doug Peterson as their next head coach. Before we get into this video though, guys, if you could leave a like in this video and of course subscribe if you have not already. I gotta really thank you guys for the support lately. It's been awesome. Yesterday's video did tremendous, so if we can keep that up, that would be great. So go ahead and leave a like, subscribe. It would be greatly appreciated. But I'm not gonna lie, I personally love this hire for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I know they were almost about to, or they were really close to hiring Byron Leftwich, which I think would have been a really good hire as well. But the reason why I like this hiring is because when Doug Peterson was first in Philadelphia with Carson Wentz, he molded Carson Wentz before he got hurt into an MVP kind of player. Obviously Frank Reich was there as well, and maybe he had the majority to do with it. But Doug Peterson was very, I would like to say, very well involved with Carson Wentz becoming an MVP candidate back then. And of course, they won a Super Bowl with Nick Foles when he came in. So I think if Doug Peterson can do something similar that he did with Carson Wentz with Trevor Lawrence, I think that would be great for Trevor Lawrence's career. Obviously, he didn't really have the rookie season that he wanted. Definitely was a little disappointing as the #1 overall pick. But I think, like I said, the situation there wasn't the best. The head coach was a little bit of a weird problem. They hired Urban Meyer. It didn't really work out. But here you go now. You have Doug Peterson. So hopefully this means really good things for Trevor Lawrence going forward. So when you take a look at the offense, you got DJ Chark, who got hurt earlier in the year. You got a veteran Marvin Jones, Laviska Shenault, Just Robinson, and then Travis Etienne. Or I don't know how to say his last name. I'll just call him Travis today. But he got hurt in the preseason, so they never really had him either. So that probably could have helped the offense a little bit more. And then defensively, you got Miles Jack and Josh Allen, which is great. There's some decent pieces here, but of course we definitely are going to be looking for a little bit more on the defensive side of the ball. We do have a lot of cap space, so there's going to be some good things we can accomplish today with this Jacksonville Jaguars roster. So let's go ahead and get started with the negotiation stage with the guys we do need to re-sign. So we got Andrew Norwell, DJ Chark, who's 25 years old. Like I said, him getting hurt definitely wasn't good, but I think you'd probably get him back for cheap because he's 25 years old, so I don't think you'd want to see him walk. There's definitely some young pieces here that I would love to bring back here to Jacksonville. So let's go ahead and make sure we resign most of the guys that we're going to need back. So I do want protection for Trevor Lawrence. So I'm going to go ahead and resign Andrew Norwell if I can get him back here. Just because, like I said, protection for a young quarterback is going to be important. So hopefully he is not interested in resigning. We'll, renegotiate with him in free agency. Maybe we find something different anyway. DJ Chark, though, like I said, 25-year-old weapon. When this guy is playing, he is an absolute monster. So hopefully he comes back. So DJ Chark, welcome back to Jacksonville. That's just a weapon that Trevor Lawrence could continue to have. Cam Robinson on the outside, only 26 years old. It is important to keep your tackle. So I'm going to go ahead and give Cam Robinson a deal. Hopefully you're able to keep him around, and he's back. So we got our left tackle back. And we got a right guard who's 30 years old. So we'll maybe check free agency first before we, commit to him. Then we got a 66 overall corner. I probably won't worry about too much. Andrew Weingard, he's depth. If he's cheap, we'll bring him back. I'll offer him a little bit of a contract. And he's back. So just like that, that looks pretty good. And then Matthew Wright, don't really know much about him. Don't really know if he was a solid kicker for Jacksonville or not. I feel like we could potentially do better in free agency. If Jacksonville fans are watching this and he was really good, I apologize because I just don't remember. And then we got a 24-year-old defensive tackle out here that I didn't really see. That's all the way down here. Star development. So we're going to try to keep him around here as well. So offer Doug Costin a contract. And just like that, I think that's it for the negotiation stage as far as guys that would be leaving our team. So now we can dive into free agency. And then, of course, the draft will be coming up and we can see how we can improve this team around Trevor Lawrence and build this team back up into a playoff roster. Today's video is brought to you by Halftime. Think of any social media that you use, but it's only dedicated to us diehard sports fans. Let me show you how it works. When you open up the app, this is what it's going to look like. It's nothing but sports. That's all you're going to see. You can see news from any sport you want to look at. Just scroll through MLB, UFC, NCAA. And then you got scores. If you want to look at scores for today or the previous day to see what happened the previous day. Also have the ability to choose your favorite teams. Whatever teams you want to put on there, you can put as many as you want. You could also choose your favorite players to follow and post in those players, and I'll show you how that works in a second. So this is what the posts are going to look like. You can literally choose any club you want to post it to. You could choose it to a whole league. You could choose it to just a certain team. There's much more you could do with this app, but this is just a small sample size and a little bit of an example of what you could do here on Halftime. So like I said, Halftime is just a social media app that's literally just dedicated to sports, so nothing else. And there's also zero trolls. Halftime prides themselves on no trolls and no negativity on the app. So if you're interested in that at all, the link to download is in the description. Also, the link to my profile, if you want to follow it, is on there as well. I'll see you guys there on Halftime. So I wanted to take a real quick deep dive into what this roster actually looks like. So we're able to keep Cam Robinson on the outside, so we don't really need a left tackle. Our right tackle, I believe he is 24 years old. So that's another young right tackle. We did lose our left guard. We have a 30-year-old center. So I think, and then we got Barch down here, who is a left guard, is 24 years old. So I think we could just resign Andrew Noel. That would be great just to keep the offensive line intact there. Darren Arnold is the guy that Jacksonville traded for. They traded CJ Henderson, I believe, to get this guy. And I'm not really sure how I feel about that trade when it did happen, but at the end of the day, it did happen. And then defensively, we got some good pieces in Josh Allen, Miles Jack. We got Hamilton and then Doug Costin and Smoot here on the defensive line. The free safety, strong safety position, and corners could definitely use some improvement. So, I mean, there's a lot to improve here. Obviously, this Jacksonville Jaguars is a rebuilding roster from the Saxonville days when they made it to the AFC Championship, almost to the Super Bowl. But here we go. So let's go ahead and see what we can, get in free agency. So I'm basically looking for young players here to improve this Jacksonville offseason roster and try to get this team, like I said, into the playoffs potentially. So, or just try to get them better than they were last year, I guess we can say. So we got Michael Gallup as a superstar development wide receiver at 26 years old. I mean, that could be like potentially a number one option for Trevor Lawrence, but at the same time, we do already have a decent wide receiver core as it is. Marvin Jones isn't going to be here forever, so you could technically go for Michael Gallup if you wanted to. Dante Jackson as a corner at 26 years old. Maybe put him on the other side of Shaquille Griffin, and I kind of like that idea. So actually, we're going to start this with going for Dante Jackson free agency and trying to get Dante Jackson here at corner and try to get him. And I think we're also going to be drafting I believe Jacksonville has the number 1 or number 2 pick, so we're going to be drafting a beast edge rusher as well, either Kayvon Thibodeau or Aiden Hutchinson, I believe. So if we can get Dante Jackson here at a corner, that'd be great. So we'll offer him a little bit more of a contract. So that's going to improve our cornerback position if we're able to get him. So Dante Jackson, good first step. I also want to look at Marcus Williams here, who's 25 years old, free safety. Our free safety position is a little lackluster. So if I can potentially get Marcus Williams here, I would love to have him as a Jacksonville Jaguar. So we'll offer him a contract just to improve the secondary, improve the coverage. Obviously, secondary is important in the NFL, so we'll definitely go for all that. And then Devondre Campbell. And then this is the other guy we did lose. I'm going to try to negotiate with him again, try to get him back. He is a little expensive, but it's okay. Andrew Norwell, 92 total points. If we don't get him back, I'm not going to cry over it. Or honestly, we could maybe, this is what we could do. Actually, you know what? I believe there's actually younger guards here so we got Connor Williams, and then we got Austin Corbett, who's 26 years old. So you know what? We're actually going to spend our money on a younger player who's going to be a lot cheaper as well. If we can get Austin Corbett here to be our part of our offensive line instead of going Andrew Norwell, I think that'd be a lot better for us. So we'll go ahead and make sure we get him, hopefully. And then other than that, outside linebackers, as we know, are just not usually here. So our linebacker core isn't bad with what we have, and we're not going to go for Von Miller or anything like that. We have Josh Allen already. So other than that, my negotiations for now, we got 3 good negotiations, but I do want to maybe go for a little bit more. So again, I am kind of interested in Michael Gallup, but I don't think I'm going to spend too much money because I think he's going to cost us a lot of money, a $12 million cap hit. I mean, it would be an interesting weapon to bring in, but I'm not going to do it. I like the wide receivers we have. Calais Campbell would bring him back to Jacksonville if we want to. I'm not going to do that. A kicker. We do need a kicker, so I'm going to go ahead and offer Younghoe Koo a contract, see if we can get the kicker here. And then anything else you want to go for before we're done? Could go for a young wide receiver, Jacoby Myers, but not really feeling that. Ronnie Harrison, another safety, which right now our safety is a 73 overall. So actually, we could also go for more secondary here if you want to go for Ronnie Harrison, just to improve this even further and just spend a little bit more money in free agency. So obviously, you're not going to get all these guys. It usually doesn't work out that way, but we're going to go ahead and see what day 2 brings, see if we get most of these guys, if not all of them, and see what else we need to improve on after day 1 of free agency. We've offered quite a bit of contracts, so hopefully we get the majority of them. So this is the first time this ever happened to me. We actually got every single person we offered a contract to. So we got Younghoe Koo, we got the free safety, we got Austin Corbett. So that was actually just so ideal of an offseason for us. So just like that, I think this defense is heavily improved with the secondary. Of course, we got another offensive lineman to protect Trevor Lawrence. So let's go ahead and take a look at what this looks like now. And we still have a little bit more cap space left. So you got decently better offensive line, obviously. You got some good pieces here. Tight end position is still a little but I do like the wide receivers, of course. Justin Robinson, or James Robinson, I should say, is great. And then Laviska Shenault hopefully becomes something for us. Jamal Agnew, also another wide receiver down here. So I like what we have on the offensive line now. And of course, Trevor Lawrence being the quarterback up front. So, and then defensively, if you take a look, our secondary is very much improved. We spent a lot of money to improve this secondary to help the coverage out. So we got Marcus Williams, Ronnie Harrison, Shaquille Griffin now, and Dante Jackson. So feeling really, really good about that. Middle linebacker also could be something we're going to be going for. Like I said, we're going to be drafting an edge rusher, so I'm not really worried about free agency for an edge rusher. I definitely should have tried to get another middle linebacker here. I didn't realize I needed another one. So if Leighton Vander Esch or somebody like that is still out here, which I don't know if I'll get that lucky, but let's just go ahead and take one last look with our $29 million left and see if we can get maybe another middle linebacker here. We got Devondre Campbell. I mean, that's cool and all, but I don't really see the interest in bringing a 29-year-old. So we got Dante Hightower, Reuben Foster, Jordan Hicks, Christian Kirksey. So yeah, I probably should have tried to get middle linebacker. Like at first, I honestly just kind of didn't realize we needed another one. I should have definitely looked at that more, but it's all good. So let's just go ahead and see what else is left. So you got Odell, Devin McCourty, Michael Gallup is still here. But again, I just, you know what? Well, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and take a look at our salaries real quick. So let's see if cutting a wide receiver makes sense for us and potentially going for Michael Gallup. I don't know if that would make sense, but we'll see just in case. So savings, you got 10 million on the center. Not going to do that. So we could cut Marvin Jones for $5 million and then pay Michael Gallup if we really wanted to. We could do that, but I know Marvin Jones was a really nice veteran in the locker room for Jacksonville. But at the same time, Marvin Jones could definitely be a competing wide receiver elsewhere if they wanted to go that route. He's 32 years old. I don't know. I'm torn on this. I feel like Jacksonville fans probably love Marvin Jones, but bringing in Michael Gallup just sounds like so much fun. You know what we could do? We have the money to do it. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and actually sign Michael Gallup first. And if we do get him, I'll probably end up cutting Marvin Jones. That's what we're going to do. So I'm going to go to Michael Gallup. He's got a #1 offer from Pittsburgh, but I'm gonna swoop in and try to get Trevor Lawrence a #1 weapon because I do believe Michael Gallup has that kind of potential. So 94 total points. That's going to be the third best offer. So we definitely have to, up the ante on this. So this is going to cost us a little bit of money, but this is what, this is what you pay. This is what you pay to get a good wide receiver like this. So obviously coming off an ACL tear, don't really know if Gallup would be this much or this expensive, but I'm going to go ahead and just go up that far. And if he's not able to come here for that, that's fine. So I think the rest is what we're going to do is we're going to address through the draft, I think. So we're not going to be going for a middle linebacker. I kind of like what we got. So, obviously our first round pick is going to be either Aiden Hutchinson or Kayvon Thibodeau. I believe Jacksonville has they have the #1 pick, right? They have the #1 pick again. Now that I remember, it actually clicked in my head again. So they had Trevor Lawrence last year. Now they're going to be able to draft whoever they want. And we got Michael Gallup in free agency. So just like that, we brought in a great weapon. And then unfortunately, what that means for Marvin Jones is we're probably going to end up cutting him just because we really don't need his services anymore. And I think he could be a good wide receiver elsewhere anyway. So I like Chark. I like DJ Chark. I like what we have already. So I'm going to free up this $5 million just like that. And let's go look at our draft pick situation before we go into the draft. So let's go ahead and see what our draft pick situation is going to look like. We should have the #1 pick in the draft. We may not have it in Madden, but I'll get it if I need to. So yeah, we have the #1 pick. We have a 2nd round pick, 3rd round, 4th, 5th. Okay, so you have 2 5th round picks, 2 6th round picks, and 2 7th round picks. But we do have the #1 pick, so we have the ability to draft either Kayvon Thibodeau or Aiden Hutchinson, which is great. So we have to be, have to feel really good about being in that position. So we're gonna go ahead, go to the NFL draft now. I really like what we have so far. We got a legitimate weapon for Trevor Lawrence with Michael Gallup, who, like I said, has the potential to be a #1 wide receiver, I believe, somewhere. If he's not playing behind Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb. And then defensively, improve the secondary very heavily. We need to focus on some linebackers in the draft as well. But like I said, we are going to be going for the edge rusher 100%, or one of those edge rushers in the draft. So let's go ahead and see what we're going to be grabbing with the #1 overall pick, either Kayvon Thibodeau or Aiden Hutchinson. We'll just see what makes sense. Let's see what makes more sense. So here we are on the board, #1 overall pick. So this has to feel pretty good. So we're also going to be getting a really good 2nd round pick as well, because we have the 1st pick in the 2nd round. So this is great. So let's go ahead and take a look. So we got Aiden Hutchinson and Kayvon Thibodeau. So I believe Aiden Hutchinson is the guy that's going to be going overall, #1 overall, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't watch a ton of college football, so I can't be for sure, but I know one of these two guys is really good. I know that for a fact. So Kayvon Thibodeau, A, tackle, B, block shed, and B, finesse move. So I think either one of these guys would be a great addition to the team. But since I've drafted Kayvon Thibodeau before, and I have drafted Aiden Hutchinson, but I'm going to draft Aiden Hutchinson with this pick. He's going to be great. Hidden development, 87 acceleration, 82 agility, 83 speed, 82 strength. And that's just going to add to the defensive line, which we really needed that to happen. So let's go to our 2nd round pick now, and let's see what we can get. We definitely need to address linebacker more than anything here. So let's go ahead and see if we can get that lucky, maybe get a good linebacker here. So an outside linebacker and an inside one as well. So we got David Ajabo on the board. Let's go ahead and take a look at what middle linebackers we have on here. So I see one on the board here. We got Nakobe Dean, Brandon Smith, Christian Harris, Ventrell Miller. So Nakobe Dean He's got he's one of our top fits. He's got A, awareness, F, injury, B, stamina, C, impact block. So not scouted that much, which is unfortunate. But let's go to the other linebacker we're looking at. We got David Ojabo here, or however you say his name. A, pursuit. So I think either way, we're drafting a really good linebacker, but this guy looks a lot better. B, injury, B, hit power, A, pursuit, C, stamina. I'm going to draft David Ojabo here, or however you say his name, and that's going to be a really good addition to the team. And maybe we get lucky and we find the middle linebacker dropping to us. I highly doubt it, but you never know. So we got an outside linebacker. Now we need an inside one. Very well. So let's go ahead and see if we can get an inside linebacker here. And then our next overall. So we got Brendan Cox. So yeah, he's gone, obviously, which makes sense. But you know what we could do is we could draft a really good edge rusher here again. So we could just go ahead and draft another good linebacker here, 100%. So we got Adam Anderson, you got Zach Harrison. So we've scouted these guys quite a bit. Haskell Garrett's on here. So Zach Harrison scouted, C, finesse moves. And you got A, stamina, B, hit power, C, impact block. He looks solid, but edge rush is not really what I need. I need linebackers more than anything. Brenton Cox, you got Kirkland on the board, Haskell Garrett, D, finesse moves. I know he actually has hidden development, or he at least used to, the old draft class, but I'm a little torn here what I want to do. Adam Anderson is a guy I usually have drafted before as well. Brenton Cox, I mean, if anything, we need a middle linebacker, but I don't really know if there's a good middle linebacker on the board to select. The Ventrell Miller. Yeah, so we're just going to go ahead and draft in the trenches potentially here. And we're just going to draft one of these edge rushers or defensive tackles. So we scouted Zach Harrison quite a bit. And then also I didn't even check out Tyreek Smith. B, tackle, B, power moves, C, finesse moves, D, block shedding. So I have to make a decision here quick. I'm going to draft Tyreek Smith. He's actually a hid development edge rusher. So welcome to the team. Welcome to Jacksonville. And like I said, I'm really, really excited for what we've brought so far. So let's go to our last pick here in the 4th round. And let's go ahead and see if we can get here in the 4th round. And I think I'll call it good. So we can get something pretty good. If we get another hidden development player here in the 4th round, I would feel really awesome about that. But I don't know if I'll get that lucky. We draft a wide receiver. We can draft another linebacker. We can draft a strong safety. DeMario Overshown, Zion Nelson. I mean, it really doesn't matter too much what we grab here, as long as we get something good. B, awareness, and then we have D, run block power, B, awareness, C, pass block power. So I'm gonna draft another tackle here, and I'm gonna call it good. So let's go ahead and submit to the end of this draft now that we've drafted enough here, and I feel really good about what we're able to accomplish in this draft. 3 hidden development players. I'm really excited about the future of this team. So we got a 78 overall left in Aiden Hutchinson. We got a 70 overall linebacker, and then we got a 68 overall edge rusher, 66 overall left tackle, 69 overall left in. So we did really good. We drafted a good wide receiver. We did actually really solid in this draft. I'm not going to lie. We also drafted Zay Flowers. So really, really solid draft for us. I think we definitely got deeper, and I think we definitely got better this offseason. I think this was like pretty much an ideal offseason you could ask for as a Jacksonville fan. Now, is this team going to make the postseason? I don't know, but at least you're in a pretty good position, I would say, to at least make some noise, potentially win some more games, and be a fun roster. Like I said, you really just want to surround Trevor Lawrence with talent. That way he can succeed. So Trevor Lawrence, you got James Robinson, Michael Gallup, Laviska Shenault, you got DJ Chark. You also have Tolbert down here who has hidden development. Tight end is Darren Arnold. Like I said, they traded for him, so I'm going to give him an opportunity. And then defensively, take a look here. Just looks a ton better. Aiden Hutchinson. Linebackers are a little lackluster, not gonna lie. So honestly, what I'd love to do here in free agency is potentially sign a middle linebacker, because don't really love that we're just gonna be starting at 66 overall. Not really feeling that. So if we can maybe grab somebody else, Dante Hightower potentially for a year, I'm cool with that. We'll go ahead and sign Dante Hightower to the team. So Dante Hightower to be our new middle linebacker. And then one thing I also want to do is I want to throw Ojobu over, or Ojabu, however you say his name, over the current outside linebacker we have now. So if we could do just that, he's listed out right outside. So we're going to move him to the left outside and have him take over for 23-year-old. I mean, I guess we don't have to, actually. This guy actually looks, he's super young, and maybe he's pretty solid. So actually, we'll leave it the way it is for now. So let's just go ahead and submit this season. Will this Jacksonville team make the playoffs? I'm not sure. We'll see. I feel optimistic about it potentially happening, but you just never really know with Madden. It's all over the place sometimes. Well, we'll just see what happens. Hopefully Trevor Lawrence is really good for us, and somehow, some way, we find a way to make it into the playoffs. So unfortunately for us this season, we went 8-9, which is an improvement from last year, but it's not anything great, obviously. So very unfortunate, very disappointed in that. I would have loved to have seen this Jacksonville Jaguars just make the playoffs somehow, but we did not. So, we don't really know if Jacksonville will be in the postseason next year or not. Sometimes teams just surprise us, but Would have loved to have seen us here, but if we take a look into the bracket, we have the Texans being the second seed in the AFC. So like I said, this is just how weird Madden can be. Second seeded Houston Texans. Who on earth thinks the Texans are going to be the second seed next year? Definitely not me. If they do, I will literally tattoo the Texans on my forehead if I have to. Tennessee, Baltimore, Cleveland, and you got Buffalo, Bengals, and then you got Carolina as the second seed, Chicago, San Francisco, and then Detroit and Washington in the playoffs. Okay, yeah, Madden, you're just wilding out today. So let's go ahead and take a look at well, let's go ahead and look at the stats. Since we didn't make the playoffs, let's see how this year went for us. So Trevor Lawrence had 4,000 passing yards, 28 touchdowns, 19 interceptions. Not too bad. Definitely would love to, see the interceptions come down quite a bit. The turnovers were still very much there for Lawrence. So if we can bring those down, that'd be a lot better. James Robinson with 1,200 yards, 16 touchdowns. Travis had 5 as well. And the receiving wise, Laviska Shenault, 1,000 yards, 4 touchdowns from Dan Arnold, and 1,000 yards for him. Michael Gallup, pretty disappointing year. We paid him a lot of money, and he only got 800 yards, 5 touchdowns. DJ Chark, 9 touchdowns, 850 yards. And then if we take a look at the defense, we got sacks wise, we have 13 from Aiden Hutchinson. So came in and immediately became a really good player. Smoot on the other side, 6.5, 6 from Josh Allen, 3.5 from Chasing, and then Miles Jackson with 3, and Davon Hamilton with 2. And then interceptions wise, we had 2 from Dante Jackson, and then you got 2 from Marcus Williams. And then deflections, we had 7. And then did we have any defensive touchdowns or safeties? We did not. So I do want to see where our offense ranked. It was 15th in the NFL, so middle of the pack. So like I said, I think we definitely helped a little bit, and then 18th in the NFL. So we were middle of the pack on both sides. Not in the playoffs. We were 1 game under 500, which is, unfortunate. And then I want to take one last look at the overalls of this roster before we see who wins the Super Bowl. So Trevor Lawrence is up to an 85, and then James Robinson up to an 88. 88 from Michael Gallup, and then 83 from DJ Chark. So this is the kind of video where you want to go forward more, but since these are just the offseason realistic rebuilds, I will not be going forward. This is what we had. We had one offseason to get this done. That's what this series is all about. But let's go ahead and see who's going to win the Super Bowl. So we saw who was in there. I have to see who's, playing quarterback for the Texans real quick. I just don't understand. So the Texans are the second seed. One thing I just want to look at, it's not Titans, but Texans have, Watson, of course. Watson decided to play for them. Never mind. I'm stupid. Okay, so Deshaun Watson is playing for Houston now. That makes a little bit more sense. All right, let's go to the Super Bowl, and let's see who's going to make it there. If it's Houston and Detroit, I'm literally turning the game off. I just can't do it anymore. So let's go ahead and see. It's Kansas City, San Francisco, which was really close to what we almost got this year. So let's go ahead and see who's going to win it. It's a Super Bowl rematch, and we got the Kansas City Chiefs beating the 49ers again, 29-7. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Definitely let me know what you guys think about the Doug Peterson hire for Jacksonville. I personally like it. I think Byron Leftwich would have been solid as well, but they went with Doug Peterson, and I really hope Doug Peterson can do great things with Trevor Lawrence. So like I said, this is Crushables 2. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.